Have you ever pondered how the ancient Chinese civilization, one of the world's oldest, came to be? It's a question that has intrigued scholars, historians, and curious minds alike for centuries. Today, we're going to embark on a journey back in time to the very dawn of this extraordinary civilization. Picture an era when the world was still young, and the cradle of what would become one of the most influential civilizations was stirring along the banks of the Yellow River. This river, often referred to as the Mother River or the cradle of Chinese civilization, was the lifeblood for the early inhabitants, providing not only sustenance but also the fertile ground for innovation and growth. Now let's delve into the legends that have been passed down from generation to generation. The tales of the 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors. These 8 legendary figures are revered as the ancestors of Chinese civilization. They were believed to be demigods who used their divine wisdom to establish the foundations of society, agriculture, and governance. The 3 sovereigns, Fuxi, Shennong, and Nuwa, were considered godlike beings, credited with teaching the early Chinese people the basics of survival. Fuxi introduced hunting, fishing, and the institution of marriage. Shennong taught the people about agriculture and the use of medicinal plants. Nuwa, the mother goddess, is said to have created mankind and mended the sky. Following the reign of the 3 sovereigns came the 5 emperors, mortal men of remarkable virtue and talent. They continued to cultivate the civilization, implementing moral codes and systems of government that would shape the Chinese society for generations to come. This ancient civilization, steeped in myth and legend, laid the groundwork for developments that would echo through millennia. The story of the dawn of Chinese civilization is not just a tale of the past. It's a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of humanity, a narrative that continues to inspire us to this day. Stay tuned as we further unravel the threads of this fascinating tapestry in our next segment. What role did the gods play in the ancient Chinese civilization, and how did they contribute to their technological advancements? This question takes us back thousands of years, into the heart of a culture where spirituality and technology were not separate entities, but rather 2 sides of the same coin. The pantheon of ancient Chinese gods was as diverse and complex as the civilization itself. From the Jade Emperor, the supreme deity of Taoism, to the kitchen god, who was believed to report the deeds of every household to the heavens. These divine entities permeated every aspect of life. Yet their influence wasn't confined to just spiritual or moral guidance. In fact, they played a crucial role in the development of some of the most influential technologies of ancient China. Let's take bronze casting, for example, a technology that was integral to the ancient Chinese civilization. The Shang dynasty saw the production of intricate bronze vessels for ritual offerings to the gods. The crafting of these vessels required an advanced understanding of metallurgy and mold-making techniques, pushing the boundaries of what was technologically possible in that era. Similarly, the oracle bone script, the earliest form of Chinese written language, was primarily used for divination. Priests would inscribe questions to the gods on these bones, then interpret the cracks formed by heating them as divine responses. This spiritual practice was the cradle of literacy in China, fostering the development of writing and, subsequently, communication and record-keeping technologies. Finally, consider the compass, a tool that revolutionized navigation and exploration. Its invention was rooted in the Chinese understanding of geomancy and the spiritual concept of feng shui. The magnetic lodestone compass was initially used not for navigation, but for harmonizing environments in accordance with the divine forces of the universe. So the divine and the practical were intertwined, shaping a civilization of profound complexity and innovation. The gods of ancient China, through their influence on society, were instrumental in fostering technological advancements that continue to impact our world today. How did Japan's colonization impact China, a civilization that had already seen thousands of years of history? A question that takes us back to the first half of the 20th century, a time when the rising sun cast a shadow over the Middle Kingdom. The period of Japanese colonization, which spanned from the late 1930s to the mid-1940s, was a dark era in China's rich tapestry of history. It was a time when the dragon was subdued, its wings clipped by the imperial ambition of its island neighbor. the land of the rising sun sought to eclipse the Middle Kingdom, imposing its rule and altering the cultural landscape. The cultural shock was profound. Japanese language and customs were insinuated into the fabric of Chinese society. Schools were compelled to teach in Japanese, and Shinto shrines dotted the landscape, symbols of the new order. Yet, beneath the surface, the heart of China continued to beat. The Chinese people, resilient as ever, held fast to their traditions, their language, their identity. And it was in these trying times that the spirit of resistance took root. The Chinese people, faced with foreign domination, rallied together. They fought back, not just with weapons, but with their culture, their history, their very identity. They clung to their ancient stories, their beliefs, their wisdom passed down through the ages. It was this resilience, this indomitable spirit that allowed China to weather the storm. When the dust of war settled, the Middle Kingdom emerged battered but unbroken. The period of colonization had left its mark, indelibly etched into the annals of history, but it had not quashed the Chinese spirit. The dragon had been subdued, but not defeated. It rose again, its roar echoing through the ages, a testament to the resilience of a people and a culture that had withstood the test of time. Despite the harshness of colonization, China's indomitable spirit endured, shaping the nation as we know it today. This is the story of the rising sun over China, a tale of resilience and endurance, of a civilization that refused to be eclipsed. How did China's ancient traditions survive through the tumultuous periods of history? It's a question that beckons a deep dive into a captivating narrative of resilience and adaptability. Let's embark on a journey through time, from the ancient rituals to modern practices, to discover how these traditions have shaped the Chinese identity. The story begins with the ancient rituals, born out of reverence for the natural world and the divine. The Chinese paid respect to their ancestors, the heavens, and the earth through elaborate ceremonies, which were not just religious practices, but a way of life. These rituals strengthened the social fabric, fostering harmony and unity among the people. As centuries rolled by, these ancient rituals evolved and adapted, but their essence remained. Whether it was the Confucian emphasis on filial piety and respect for elders, or the Taoist pursuit of balance and harmony with nature, these principles were woven into the daily life of the Chinese people. Even under the shadow of foreign invasions and political upheavals, these traditions held firm. During the era of Japanese colonization, the Chinese clung to their cultural practices as a source of strength and identity. They continued to celebrate their festivals, practice their art forms, and honor their ancestors. These traditions became symbols of resistance and resilience, a beacon of hope in the face of adversity. Fast forward to the modern day, and you'll find that these traditions are still very much alive. From the bustling metropolis of Shanghai to the tranquil villages in Yunnan, the echoes of ancient customs resonate in the heart of China. The Mid-Autumn Festival is still celebrated with mooncakes. The Spring Festival still welcomes the new year with a bang, and reverence for ancestors is still a deeply ingrained virtue. So, how did China's ancient traditions survive through the tumultuous periods of history? The answer lies in the indomitable spirit of the Chinese people, their resilience in the face of adversity, and their unwavering commitment to preserving their cultural heritage. These age-old traditions, passed down through generations, continue to breathe life into the vibrant tapestry of Chinese culture. Could Noah of the Bible have been known to the ancient Chinese, and if so, what implications does this hold? This question leads us into the intriguing Noah theory. The genesis of this theory lies in the shared motifs between the biblical tale of Noah and the Great Flood, and similar stories found in numerous cultures worldwide, including in ancient China. The narrative in question is the story of Yu the Great, a legendary figure known for his efforts in taming the floods that wreaked havoc on early Chinese civilization. Yu's story bears remarkable parallels to Noah's tale, sparking curiosity and leading to the proposition of the Noah theory. The theory suggests that Noah, known for his leadership during a world-engulfing flood, may have been a figure known to, or even influential within, ancient Chinese society. This idea is supported by striking similarities between the two stories. Both Noah and Yu are depicted as virtuous leaders who managed to survive catastrophic floods with divine assistance and subsequently played key roles in the rebirth of their respective civilizations. But the Noah theory is not solely based on narrative parallels. Some proponents point to linguistic evidence within the Chinese language itself. They argue that certain ancient Chinese characters, particularly those related to the concepts of a boat, eight, and people, could potentially hint at the story of Noah's Ark, which, according to the Bible, carried 8 people to safety. Should the Noah theory be valid, it would imply a striking connection between the ancient civilizations of the Middle East and China, suggesting a shared or mutually influenced mythological heritage. It could also point to the universality of flood myths, perhaps reflecting a common human experience or fear. However, it's important to remember that while intriguing, the Noah theory is just that, a theory. It's a fascinating idea to ponder, but definitive proof remains elusive. Whether or not the Noah theory holds water, it certainly adds another layer of intrigue to the rich tapestry of Chinese history. How much have we learned about Chinese civilization, their gods, their ancient technologies, Japan's colonization on China, and their tradition? Our journey began at the dawn of Chinese civilization, a time when the seeds of culture, innovation, and tradition were sown. The fertile lands along the Yellow River cradled the cradle of an ancient society that would eventually grow into one of the world's longest-lived civilizations. From there, we delved into the divine realm, acquainting ourselves with the pantheon of gods that the ancient Chinese revered. The gods were not just religious figures, but also symbols of moral and social norms, deeply ingrained in the fabric of their society. Simultaneously, we explored the remarkable ancient technologies that the Chinese civilization developed. From the intricate workings of the seismograph to the invention of paper and printing, their ingenious creations have undoubtedly shaped the world as we know it. Our narrative then shifted eastwards, to the rising sun over China. The period of Japan's colonization was a challenging chapter in China's history, but it also marked a significant turning point. It was a time of conflict and change, a time when the resilience and spirit of the Chinese people were tested and proven. We then immersed ourselves in the rich tapestry of Chinese tradition. These traditions, some of which continue to this day, are a testament to the enduring strength and adaptability of Chinese culture. They serve as living links to the past, helping to preserve and pass on the wisdom of their ancestors. Finally, we explored the intriguing Noah theory. It's a fascinating proposal that suggests the biblical figure Noah was known to the ancient Chinese. It challenges us to consider the interconnectedness of our world's diverse cultures and histories. In the grand tapestry of human history, every thread counts. And the thread of Chinese civilization is certainly one of the most vibrant and enduring.